Ameen, shukran. Much love for the super chat. May Allah bless you. Why are Muslims not developed in science today? Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is a legend, by the way, claims Ghazali is responsible for that and ending the Islamic Golden Age. Thoughts? I mean, I have answered this before. So without going into much detail, and I'm sure I have a video about it on YouTube. So that's it. I don't. Right. So naturally, there could be some elements that to what Neil deGrasse Tyson is saying. I don't think it's entirely directly causative. However, maybe through exponential causation, Imam Al-Ghazali, Abu Hamid Al-Ghazali, played a significant role in I don't know, maybe blacklisting philosophical thought. So yeah, I could accept that he discouraged it because it's interesting. I mean, Imam Ghazali, may Allah bless him, was an incredibly complex personality who went through a lot in his lifetime, and he went through a lot of permutations and changes. So he he's a great Shafi'i scholar and an usuli. One of his texts, the Mustasfa, is one of the ummahat of usul, is one of the major books of usul. He is above that a philosopher. So his Rasail discuss a lot of philosophy. In fact, some Cartesian, or really one would say a lot of what Descartes is presenting several centuries later is already in Imam Ghazali's Rasail. So that's fascinating. People don't credit him for that, and I don't know whether they're aware of that. So, and he was a theologian. He was a great theologian as well, Ash'ari scholar. And I feel that he, in addition to that, became I'm not sure what events in his life directly led to him seeking the path of consciousness. He definitely did, and became a person of seeking that path of the soul. For him, it manifested itself in a route of asceticism. He kind of took his whatever he had or whatever he could carry with him and set off to a desert, and was there for many years, and kind of a renunciation of the dunya in its entirety almost, which is I'm not sure if asceticism is something that it's not going to be really most people's cup of tea. That ascetic, hermetic approach naturally influenced his outlook on life, and I feel he felt that the voice of reason could only take him so far, and he felt that he'd maybe struggled. He had a crisis of faith, and so some people even claim that he gave up on Islam for maybe a number of days. Allahu alam if that's true, but he definitely struggled, and then he felt that the only way out of this abyss is to kind of cast aside philosophical inquiry and to firmly take a blind leap of faith. Now, I admire his kind of tenacity and his his rigidity in the face of such a crisis of faith. That said, I'm not saying I necessarily agree with how he would have done it. Each person to their own. I'm sure for him it worked. But Imam Ghazali lived almost 900 years ago. The world has changed since the last 900 years, dramatically and drastically. And even reason and the voice of reason has learned so much more since then. And I would feel that if Imam Ghazali knew what we knew today, his approach may have been slightly different. Slightly. I'm not saying massively, but slightly different. I don't feel he would have. Today, we do, like with quantum physics, it has opened for us certain explanations that have brought us a step closer to understanding reality, and to by reconciling or marrying it with the mystique, that these are not necessarily divorced entities. And I feel that was Imam Ghazali's biggest struggle, and therefore he wrote Tahafut al-Falasifa, the incoherence of the philosophers, whereby he kind of refutes Neoplatonism and a lot of that. But I think what Ghazali does is he projects Neoplatonism onto the entirety of philosophical thought and thereby refutes it. Naturally, within 100 years, the great Maliki legend of Muslim Spain, Ibn Rushd, refutes Ghazali by writing his Incoherence of the Incoherence, called Tahafut al-Tahafut. And I feel Ibn Rushd does a great job. But, maybe was philosophy to become as fashionable again in the Muslim world as it was becoming by Ghazali's time? Maybe not, one could argue, but it does continue. I don't think philosophical thought discontinues in the Muslim world. You have great people after Imam Ghazali in the East. I don't just mean in the West with like Ibn Rushd. In the East, you have Fakhruddin al-Razi. You have many people that will, Sohrawardi, Abu al-Fatah Sohrawardi, Shihabuddin, the philosopher, and his kind of whole falsafatul ishraq and different. What I'm trying to say is independent philosophical thought within the Sunni paradigm does continue. Sure, it stagnates, but whether that stagnation is a direct result, I feel it's difficult to say it's direct result of Imam Ghazali. Could it be an exponential causative element, as in it triggered this, which triggered B, which triggered C, which triggered E and F, and then maybe G impacts? Sure, like that, I accept that. But I hope that's of some help. Cool.